Hello and welcome to another video from me, Rough Swordsman, Wargamer. It's an open the box and it's an unboxing of a brand new game that's just found its way over here to the UK from GMT's P500. It's Salerno 43, another in the family of 40X games designed by Mark Simonitch. So, what's all this about? Salerno 43 is a battalion / regiment / brigade level game on the Allied invasion of mainland Italy in September 1943. 2 British and 2 American divisions land in the Gulf of Salerno, defended by the full strength of 16th Panzer Division, which is soon reinforced by elements of 5 mechanized divisions and much of the 1st Fallschirmjäger. For 8 days, the survival of the beachhead is in doubt, and emergency measures are taken to reinforce the beachhead with the 82nd Airborne Division. With their counterattacks stopped and the British 8th Army approaching from the south, the Germans withdraw their left flank to avoid being trapped. However, their right flank stubbornly holds back the British from pushing north to Naples. Salerno 43 includes 2 scenarios, an 8-turn invasion scenario and a 22-turn campaign game. In the campaign game, the Allies must exit the North Map edge by the end of September 1943. The Germans must delay the Allies to give time for the construction of the Gustav Line further north. The 8-turn scenario can be finished in an afternoon. So here's what the map looks like, and some of the counters. And in the box we have 1 map, 1 counter sheet, 1 rules booklet, 1 Allied setup and reinforcement card, 1 German setup and reinforcement card, 2 identical CRT TEC player aid cards, and 2 6-sided dice. Credits: game designer course Mark Simonitch, developer Christian Diedler, research Fred Thomas, graphics and layout Mark Simonitch, and production coordinator Tony Curtis. Unusually it says 2 players here, ages 14 plus, playing time 2 to 6 hours, complexity 5 out of 9, and solitaire suitability also 5 out of 9. Right, let's get the shrink wrap off. The shrink wrap is off, so let's open the box. Here's our D6. The first thing we see are the rules. So, let's have a look at those. The rules come in at 32 pages and are full colour and on a matte paper stock. So, those who have other games in the series will be familiar with the sort of layout of this rulebook. Introduction, contents, explanation of the pieces, sequence of play outline, stacking limits and such, land movement, and zones of control. And Zoc bombs, of course. Combat modifiers, things like tank shifts and air support, artillery support and naval support. Combat results, explanation of those, which step losses to select. Determined defence, which is in most of the other games. Retreats, disruption and recovery. Advance after combat, break through combat. Again, a goodly amount of diagrams. Supply and isolation. ASUs, artillery support units. Beachheads, ports and naval transports. And some special units here. Replacements. reinforcements and entry areas, the weather phase, victory points with an automatic victory, turn 1 special rules, and some optional rules, and then we're into those 2 scenarios. This is the shorter one of 8 turns and the campaign game. So each one's got a setup and scenario data section, victory conditions, the special rules and tournament rules. This one's got the setup and scenario data, 16th Panzer Division withdrawal, the army units and victory conditions. Hints on play for both the Allied and German players, and as always a good thing to see, the design notes. Bibliography and an extended sequence of play. Turn 1, the invasion turn. The Germans' turn. And the Allied players' turn. There we are, looking good. And the credits. With a little index on the back. Them's the rules. Next, we've got some player aid cards. We have 2 for setting up the campaign and the avalanche scenario. 1 for the Axis, 1 for the Allies. Let's have a look at those. Here's the player aid for the Axis. It's single-sided and shows the Axis at start and their reinforcements. So here's the double-sided player aid for the Allies for the campaign and avalanche scenario. And here we can see the Allies at start with their follow-up wave, floating reserve, some support markers, remnant display, and the turns the reinforcements come into play. And on the other side there is this optional start for the shorter Operation Avalanche, and this is to do with the tournament rules. We've also got 2 copies of a bifold player aid sheet which has all the tables and such on them, so let's have a look at one of those. So up here we've got the combat results table, the CRT, with an explanation of what things mean, determined defence table, isolation attrition table, rally table, and the combat modifiers. And in the middle 2 pages we have a sequence of play, which is great, a summary of mountain hexide effects, the invasion CRT, airdrop table, disengagement table, variable strength units and landing point values, and over here a summary of all the units, which is very helpful, Allied coordination between US and Commonwealth units, and abbreviations found in combat unit IDs. On the back we have the terrain effects chart, the TEC, and down here we have some markers and what effect those markers have. Just 1 sheet of counters on that thicker brown core that GMT are now using most of the time. So here's the front side, quite a low density of counters as you can see. And here's the other side. Won't take you long to get those off the sprue and playing. And the last thing, of course, is the map. But with the P500 you had the option of the mounted map. So let's have a look at that. Here's the map in all its glory. Can't quite get in the tops and bottoms, but we'll have a look at those in a minute. It's a much smaller map, smaller than a standard Wargame map. I think it's 25.5 along here and 22 from top to bottom. As you can see, handsome looking map by Mr. Simonitch with the terrain clearly demarked on the map. So let's have a close-up. So up here we've got the north edge entry areas which extend along here. The remnant display, general records track, and eliminated and floating reserve boxes. Around the edge here we've got boxes, and those look like where special units are placed. We've got Commonwealth support markers going here along with the US support markers, and some naval transport. So here's the top right hand part of the map, and as you can see, very hilly and mountainous is this part of Italy. We've got Salerno here, and just in shot, excuse my pronunciation, Battipaglia and Avellino up in the north. Down in the bottom of the map we've got, this looks like the weather track, and telling us which units are available during those weather phases, and the turn record track. We've got an abbreviated sequence of play here and the map key. And finally at the bottom right, again very hilly and mountainous country, only a few places that have clear terrain, and we've got these, I assume they're entry and exit sections all the way along the three edges of the map. Nice looking map and a nice small footprint. So this has been an Open the Box, an unboxing of Mark Simonitch's brand new game, Salerno 43, published of course by GMT Games. I've got the mounted map, but if you didn't get that, don't worry, you'll have an equally gorgeous paper map in the box. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, and you haven't done so already, it would be great if you would consider subscribing to the channel, pressing the like button of the video, the old thumbs up, and if you want to be informed of other content the channel uploads, then push the bell. Leave a comment. What do you think? I'm getting quite a few of these in Mark's series now, or family of games. What I like about these games is they're all sort of very similar with the rules, but have things that are different within each game. But as I say, let me know. I love to read them. Thanks as always to my subscribers. Thank you very much. And just before I go, if you wish to support the channel a little bit further, well now you can buy the channel a coffee. And all those coffees go towards maintaining the channel and enabling it to keep uploading new content. If you wish to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description, and thank you. So, until next time, as always, you take care and goodbye.